Thanks, Rose Catherine. So yes, House Minority Leader and Representative Todd Rutherford spoke to us here earlier today about why he feels DACA needs protection. DACA, of course, is a topic of nationwide conversation today, with arguments already underway in the Supreme Court. Prior to hearing Rutherford speak, a group of people from the local community gathered to talk a little bit about the DACA impact, including one young man who is a DACA recipient himself. Representative Rutherford has said that he will continue to speak on and advocate for this issue in the coming weeks. Now, at the national level, President Trump is saying that Obama had no legal right to sign the order in the first place back in 2012. Regardless of the outcome, in the coming weeks and months, the Supreme Court will decide the fates and futures of roughly 700,000 people. Live for Carolina News inside the State House, I'm Hannah Powers. Back to you in the studio. Thanks, guys. I'm outside of White Knoll High School right now in Lexington, where tonight they are hosting a free event on vaping addiction. It's open to everyone, but it's particularly targeting students ages 6th grade and up and their families. National speakers and mother and son duo Kelly and Luca Kennard, who have previously appeared on NBC's The Today Show, will be telling Luca's story about how at just 16 years old, he became addicted to vaping and went from a straight-A student to failing all of his classes. We got to find out today just what makes these products so addictive. I think everyone agrees that children should be spending their time playing outside, making music or art, or being on a sports team, or taking part in the countless positive activities that help define childhood and adolescence, not filling their bodies with potentially toxic chemicals. The good news, however, is that this school is doing their part to tackle the problem head on and alert students and their families to the potential negative side effects that vaping has. Live for Carolina News, I'm Hannah Powers. Back to you in the studio. I'm on Benedict's College campus right now, right outside their student center, where we just had the chance to hear from presidential candidate Joe Biden. Hey everyone, well, the temperatures have officially started cooling off, and I know a lot of you are wondering when the leaves are going to start to change too. Now, we are starting to see a little bit of yellow and orange, but no major changes have taken place with the foliage seen yet. The South Carolina state parks are saying that peak color may be delayed until the first or second week of November. Now, the low to minimal rain we've been having has been helping the situation, but that's looking to change as we round out this weekend with potential showers coming on Sunday. If you want to get into the holiday spirit yourself, you can catch the show live November 15th through 17th at the A.C. Flora High School Auditorium. Formerly known as the Inn at USC, this past May it underwent a huge cosmetic renovation. We're standing in one of the studios right now where the Columbia City Ballet practices, and they're about to come in here for class where they're going to rehearse numbers for Dracula. Dracula the Ballet is coming to the Koger Center October 25th and 26th, and we have word from the director that it's supposed to be a really sexy, fun performance. Title IX is a federal civil rights act that was passed as a part of the Education Amendments of 1972. Quite simply, it means equal opportunity for women. I just finished catching up with the artistic director, Mimi Worrell, and she brought me in here, the costume room, where I'm getting to check out some of the outfits that dancers will wear for the performance of the Nutcracker. This right here is actually what the Sugar Plum Fairy will wear. I'm outside of the Columbia Ballet School right now, where inside, artistic director Anita Ashley is busy getting all of her students prepared for this year's performance of the Nutcracker. And to make things even more sweet, they have one very special guest. Joseph Phillips, known as ballet's golden boy thanks to the quantity of gold medals he has won, is objectively one of ballet's most decorated male dancers. A truly global dancer, he's been featured on stages everywhere, including one particularly memorable performance for Russian President Putin, and he currently lives in the Philippines. But South Carolina always brings him back.
I always come back. I consider this my home.
Phillips spent his formative years in Columbia, and all of this specific technique was learned under the guidance of Anita Ashley.
Joseph and I have a very special connection that goes back to when he was middle school.
So when she found out there was a chance for him to come back to dance the principal male role in her production of the Nutcracker, she couldn't believe it.
One day he called me and said, "Yeah, I want to do this." So it was like, let's get on it then. I was so excited I didn't even ask him how much he charged.
For Phillips, this performance is one more way for him to show his hometown ballet isn't always what it seems.
I understand, in the South where it can be, is it a sissy thing, or is it, not, is it just girls in tutus, which is not at all.
As far as this performance, he wants people to
just watch it. Yeah, just watch it. There's nothing, I don't think there's there's maybe something for everybody. Everybody will be individual, but I think anybody should just go see a ballet because the persona, until you see it, you don't know what it is.
If you want to get into the holiday spirit yourself, you can catch the show live November 15th through 17th at the AC Flora High School Auditorium. For Carolina News, I'm Hannah Powers.
3, 2, 1!
For the second year in a row, hundreds gathered to participate in the Veterans Day 5K. In a state like South Carolina, which ranks in the top 5 states with highest number of military enlistees, Veterans Day is a very important event in the community. Race founder Brooks Herring says this is one way he gives back.
I enjoyed serving, and I live to serve. I mean, since I got out, I've just been looking for ways to continue to support my brothers and sisters.
Event volunteer and active Marine Bobby Herpel loves this time of year.
It's fantastic. This is wonderful. Yes, I love it. And today is our Marine Corps birthday, so I love celebrating that. And then Veterans Day tomorrow, and the turnout we had today was just, spectacular. I'm elated. We had a total of 388 runners, and then between volunteers and everyone else that made this possible, I'd say probably like 450 people total.
The winner of the race and 5K first-timer, Owen Williams, says he loves celebrating our veterans.
I love it. They're the heroes. We just run, but so very thankful for all they do.
USC Student Body President Luke Rankin is glad he could help with the event, which raises money for veterans.
Student veterans are a big pocket of our population on campus, and making sure that they are represented and that we have something to thank them for all that they do.
For the ramparts we watched.
Perhaps everyone's favorite finisher was Thomas Peel, 92 years old, who served in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, and is glad people in the community are taking the time to recognize veterans.
I think it's terrific, really. I appreciate it.
Right now, behind me, volunteers are taking down the finish line because all of the racers are actually inside Carolina Western Pub right now, celebrating their victories today. It's been a wonderful day to say thanks to everything that our veterans do for our community here in Columbia. Happy Veterans Day. For Carolina News, I'm Hannah Powers. Welcome back to Carolina News. Well, I know you guys are all super excited to see that right now it's 69 degrees in Columbia, which is a huge jump from where we were 2 weeks ago, and we're finally seeing autumn temperatures. The good news is that the whole state is enjoying this same temperature difference. So everywhere today currently is in the high 60s. We're feeling the fall weather. As far as tomorrow is concerned, we're pretty much in the same spot. Columbia, the high will be 71, and again, everywhere else in the state will match that. We do have Myrtle Beach and Rock Hill a little bit different. They're going to be high 60s. Now, if we look at tonight's lows, it is going to get nippy. So Columbia, we're looking at 45 tonight. It is cold, but again, that brings some good things along as well. In fact, tonight, we're supposed to have an amazing sunset. So sunset will happen at 6:48 p.m. And thanks to the slightly cooler temperatures, we're going to have beautiful fall colors. We have minimal cloud cover. If we're looking nationwide, this is kind of shocking. Columbia is actually shaded blue. I know usually we're the ones shaded yellow or red, but we're one of 3 states who are experiencing a 10-degree change in just 24 hours. The thing is, though, we're just cooling down to really match where the rest of the country already is. As far as our 5-day schedule, the only day that you guys need to be worried about is Saturday. Saturday, we do have a 100% chance of rain, which I know is kind of stinky because we have the state fair and the game. However, Sunday is going to be gorgeous. So if you guys haven't already picked out a Halloween pumpkin, I would recommend going on Sunday because it's going to be an amazing day. Back to you guys in the studio. Hello and welcome to Carolina News. I'm Hannah Powers.
Happy Veterans Day, and thanks for joining us. I'm Sarah Pritchard, and Hannah and I have our red, white, and blue on for the festivities today.
Very patriotic. Columbia residents flocked downtown today to celebrate our military heroes at the annual Veterans Day Parade.
Reporter Eli Brand explains what the parade means for the veterans in attendance. The parade is just one of the ways that Columbia celebrates its veterans.
Yeah, it's great to see Columbia rally around our vets. I actually got to spend some time yesterday afternoon at another awesome Veterans Day event. USC held a Veterans Day 5K on Sunday, raising money to bring Fisher House to Columbia. The 5K raised money for the Friends of Fisher House Columbia, which provides a free place to stay for family members of veterans who require extended care. This is the second year of the race. Well, Sarah, I know it really hasn't been getting too cold yet, but I'm already totally breaking out the full winter gear.
Yeah, that's right. I am too, for sure. Brandon, is that massive cold front moving across the country going to affect us here in Columbia?
Thanks, Summer. The Sumter community came together today to lay 5-year-old Nevaeh Adams to rest last night. Nevaeh and her mother, Sherry Bradley, were killed by Dante Johnson. The search for Nevaeh gripped the Midlands for weeks and ultimately ended in tragedy. Johnson's being charged with 2 counts of murder and is being held at the Sumter Lee Detention Center without bond. A local pastor led the Newberry County community through a day of prayer on Sunday. The event represents an effort to stand up to violence in the wake of recent violent crimes. Data from the Newberry Police Department shows an increase in total numbers of homicides in Newberry in 2019. Coming up next on Carolina News, former Governor Nikki Haley is about to release a new book, which is sure to stir up controversy, and a train slammed into a car on Walter MacArthur Road. Find out more after this break. Welcome back to Carolina News. Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley will release a memoir on Tuesday titled With All Due Respect. Haley alleges in her memoir that 2 administration officials tried to enlist her in opposing some of President Trump's policies while she was ambassador to the United Nations. She writes that then Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and then White House Chief of Staff John Kelly were following a dangerous path. Haley's memoir will shed light on an administration that will face its heaviest scrutiny so far this week. House Intelligence Chairman Adam Schiff says open hearings on the impeachment inquiry will start Wednesday, beginning this week, and the public can decide if the president was in the wrong or not. Trump took to Twitter to defend himself, and he continues to maintain that he did no wrong. Dominion Energy's VC Summer nuclear plant temporarily shut down after a small leak in the reactor. A Dominion Energy representative said the small leak is contained and hasn't leaked outside. The leak didn't require a plant shutdown, but operators decided to shut down the reactor to fix it. They have not said how long the shutdown will last. A recent study released by Science Daily says music therapy can treat conditions like anxiety, depression, autism, and dementia, but a local music therapy program may not be around for much longer. Reporter Anna King went out to get a better idea of the benefits this type of therapy can have. The joy the music brings the patients alone seems to make it worthwhile, but hopefully with continued exposure, music programs like this one will continue to brighten patients' days.
What a sweet story.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Well, if you plan on getting outside this week, you might need to do it today.
Yeah, after today, it's going to start getting really, really cold. Brandon, when do we need to bring out the heavy-duty jackets? Okay, Brandon, saying 25 is the low, ice storms, I'm scared.
I know, I'm going to have to break out the parka for sure. All right, well, sports is next on Carolina News.
The Gamecocks women are killing it in sports.
I know, it looks like across the board, they're like leading the pack completely.
Yes, they are.
Sounds like we're basketball school now, so.
We're a basketball school.
Yeah, for sure.
Still more to come on Carolina News. Don't let that cold front scare you away. There's no better day than today to eat ice cream. I'll tell you why right after this break. Finally tonight on Carolina News, if you're craving a sweet treat today, well, here's the perfect excuse. Today's National Sundae Day. The possibilities are endless when it comes to making the perfect sundae. With so many choices of ice cream, such as strawberry, chocolate, and even birthday cake, today you can indulge in whatever flavor your heart desires. And of course, the toppings to set it off. Now, I'm not too big of a treat monster, but I really love cookies and cream myself.
I also love cookies and cream, but I think I'm going to go with Ben & Jerry's Tonight Dough on this one.
Ben & Jerry's?
That's literally my favorite flavor of cookies and cream.
Is cookies and cream.
Right,
It's
well,
classic.
there it is, a consensus cookies and cream. Well, all this talk of ice cream reminds me of this cold weather we've got coming up. Brandon, can you give us one last look at our 5-day forecast?
Make sure to bring out those blankets. That's all the time we have today. Thanks so much for being with us.
We'll see you tomorrow. You have a great evening.